Welcome back, Geordies and Premier League fans alike. First off, it's Adam from Two for Joy. If you're new around here, make sure you get down there in the comments and get involved. Like and subscribe. There's some big transfer news going on. Let's get into it. So this wild ride of a transfer window with Mark Gahey reportedly signing for Man City, or set to be signing for Man City, for £20 million, a cut price deal on a £300,000 a week contract. Which to me, I look across the board and I think, Arsenal and Liverpool, why were you not in for him at this price? Especially Liverpool, having had Mark Gahey as a done deal supposedly on the last day of the summer window. I know Craig Holden's going mental and I don't blame him. But it just seems ridiculous. I can't understand why this transfer hasn't been pursued by other clubs. Whether they've overspent in the summer, whether everybody's overspent in the summer, whether any club has actually done good business this year. But Man City, and I'll say this from a Newcastle perspective, because we've heard our manager and our club come out and say, you know, it's hard to get deals done in January and you pay overinflated prices. It's a difficult window. But we're 2 weeks in and there's been almost no movement in the Premier League apart from Manchester City signing Anton Semenyo for 65 million quid and Mark Gahey for £20 million, a total £85 million spend. When in the summer, Newcastle spent 40 million on Jacob Ramsey and 55 million on Anthony Elanga, who arguably are two far worse players than Mark Gahey and Anton Semenyo. And I know it's timing's everything. Mark Gahey is going to go in this window because Palace want to recoup some money before he goes on a free in at the end of the summer. But it's absolutely crazy the way this transfer window's going. And I'm not sure whether this is clever decisions being made by big clubs or it is poor decisions being made by everybody across the Premier League. And as far as the Premier League situation goes and the results that came in yesterday, it's incredible how tight this Premier League season is, with a lot of people saying it's the most competitive league in the world. But what I believe is probably the most unperforming season for big teams that I've ever seen, with Man United dancing round Man City yesterday. It's the first time in years since Man City played Barcelona that I've seen a side go 2-0 up and passing round them in triangles while the fans cheer. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Mark Gahey's not going to fix whatever that problem is. And I know that's a Man United new manager bounce, but realistically, you have to say those players down tools under Amorim after a performance like that yesterday. Liverpool drawing 1-1 with Burnley at Anfield. A wild, absolutely wild result. And I know if you look at the statistics, Liverpool are all over them and they should have had that game put away. But you have to say that team that Arne Slot is more than capable. The team that Arne Slot's put out is more than capable of beating that Burnley side. And Liverpool fans calling for Arne Slot to be sacked. I'm not sure it's Arne Slot that's the problem. I think there's a mentality issue there, but who knows? And then Thomas Frank, the wild ride that is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Thomas Frank having chance of you being sacked in the morning as he walked off the field yesterday. With Callum Wilson, well done Cally, stealing the 2-1 win for West Ham, who seem to be like they might be able to get out of this relegation scrap if they carry on the way they are under Nuno. And last but not least, Arsenal's opportunity to pull away at the top of the Premier League. And once again, and I hate to use the term bottle jobs, but 0-0 with Notts Forest at Forest. What is going on? Arsenal, I mean, realistically, I look at these transfers. Anton Semenyo. Why were Arsenal not in for that Anton Semenyo transfer for 65 million quid? It's a bargain price for a player of his quality who's in a rich vein of form. Liverpool, why didn't you pull the trigger on Mark Gahey for £20 million? Is this a masterstroke from Man City? Or is this just every other club sleeping on transfers that should be done or could be done in this January transfer window. And tell me, let me know in the comments below, whichever fan base you're from, if you think this is a competitive season or just a shitload of underperforming teams. And hopefully, Newcastle fans, I'll be back later with a match review, which I am hoping will be a winning match review for our game against Wolverhampton today. But I've got to say, I think Wolves are going to be a far more difficult challenge than most people are saying they will be, with their little upturn in form and our away record. It's a crazy Premier League season. It's a crazy transfer window. And I'm surprised at this point, at the 18th today, that there isn't more transfers been done and there isn't more links for teams that clearly need players. I mean, looking across the board, Liverpool, you need a centre-back. Tottenham, you need, God knows what, a new manager probably. Arsenal, you need to sort out that front line. I know Arsenal, you've probably been the most consistent team this season, but I do think Victor Gyökeres is not the answer for you up front. And Newcastle, are we going to finally pull the trigger on doing a fullback and a centre-back we desperately need in this window with the injuries we've got and with players leaving in the summer? Will there be movement? Won't there be movement? Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. And hopefully, guys, I will see you in the next one.